نحتاج هلا إلاركو ساندرا سركسياني وغوريتي أرناستي باللقاء تحت عنوان شارك بتبارك محاربة فضلات الطعام في الأردن. شارك بتبارك مبادرة تسعى لإعادة تصميم الطريقة التي نستهلك الغذاء بها ونتخلص من بقاياه. يستعرض هذا اللقاء الصراع ضد فضلات الطعام في العالم وكيف تأسس المشروع. شارك بتبارك Fighting Food Waste in Jordan. I'd like to welcome Ilarko, Sandra Sarkisian and Goretti Arnaste. Sharek Bitbarek is an initiative seeking to redesign the way we consume and waste food. This talk will walk us through the fight against food waste globally and how the project was conceived. Thank you.
زي ما عرفتكم علينا احنا شارك بتبارك. We're launching our initiative or our proposed concept during this design week. We're a design consultancy. We're collaborating with Ilarko from Barcelona and Goretti Arnaste. So we're more of a collaboration working together to fight food waste in Jordan. So my colleague Goretti will walk you through the first couple of slides.
So before we dive into our project, we're going to give you some data on the problem of food loss and food waste globally. So for those who don't know, food loss is all the decrease in quantity and quality of the food that before it reaches the consumption level, it gets lost, especially during the harvest, the forestry, the fishing. And then the food waste is all the food that we actually dump at the consumption level. So some numbers, which are very staggering, is like 1/3 of all the food that we produce worldwide is wasted. This is like 1.6 billion, which is a lot. And it's supposed to increase by 2 billion in 2030, roughly. So now if we think that we have 1 billion hungry people that actually could be lifted out of malnourishment with this food, it's just like less than a quarter of the food that is wasted in the US, the UK, and Europe. Now, of course, there's difference between the developing world and the developed world. In the developing world, there's less food waste, and it's especially it happens during the harvest and during the process of the distribution due to shortage in storage, refrigerator systems, and basically before it reaches the consumption level. Now, the main problem is that with a globalized world, we have globalized problems. So we want food now, we want it everywhere in the world. And this, what happens, the food is traveling all over the world. And we are completely disengaged with the process of how do we get the food. So we're completely disconnected of the food sources. This is mainly the data. It's a lot of data, but the majority of the food that is wasted happens during at the supermarket level, the restaurant level, and in the households, especially in the developing world. So this is actually where we can actually do something, is mainly education on how we consume and how we waste this food.
Because you know there are a lot of reasons why food gets lost during the entire food chain. So some of the reasons we really can't control. ما بتقدر تتحكم كيف الأكل عم نخسره ببداية الفود تشين لآخره. فإحنا اللي بنحاول نعمله إنه لما يوصلنا لبيوتنا في السوبر ماركت، ريتيل، هاوس هولدز، إنه إحنا نتحكم بالكمية اللي بنقدر نخسرها من الأكل. So these are the numbers.
Okay. Now the project started in Jordan because we applied for a challenge that the Design Week launched on how to tackle food waste. So even though Jordan is a developing country and you don't have as much food waste as we have in Europe, for example, you have a lot of potential beneficiaries. Let's say 14% of the population is below the poverty line. This is official data. But there's also a lot of vulnerable to food insecurity in the country. So there's no recycling outlets in Jordan. And food is actually one of the kinds of waste that we can immediately take and recycle on the spot. Perfectly edible food that is wasted on a daily basis that we can take and distribute between people that can actually make use of it. So the data we have for Jordan is that annually, so on a daily basis, almost 3 tons of food is wasted in the country. And in Ramadan, it increases on 500 tons. This is daily in Jordan. And in Amman only, 50% of the waste is organic. So we can make an approximation that probably half of it is actually edible food that is wasted on a daily basis.
So actually during this year, when we were doing the research, we really couldn't find a lot of data when it comes to food that is wasted, organic food. And it's been really challenging for us to go through with it because, you know, people would not disclose data. Some people would, honestly, they don't know. And a lot of people are not conducting research when it comes to food waste management in the country. So it really has been it's such a hassle. So this is why for us it's very important to be here now because
we're conducting research still. This is why we actually need more data, we need more partners, we need to understand how much food we can use, and we need to reach as much beneficiaries as possible.
And Sharek Bitbarek, why it's very important because not only we're proposing a solution here, what we're trying to do is we want to educate people on recycling, on food waste management, on all these important issues that people currently in the country, they're just avoiding. And so this is us, basically. So our opportunity, basically, is we want to provide a solution that tackles food waste management in the country and connect potential beneficiaries to food donors, like hotels, restaurants, reliable food sources. And we also want to create awareness on food waste management in the country, hence fight food waste. So basically, what we're trying to do, we want to embed the concept of recycling in our culture. We want to educate the masses on the importance of food waste management and the importance of recycling. And by that, we want to redefine the meaning of food waste. Because, you know, it's not really food waste if you can eat it later. So this is what we're trying to do. So by that, we وصلنا لمرحلة where we wanted to create a solution. So we're still researching that solution. But for now, what we've come to,
we're proposing a medium. It's actually inspired by some projects that happen in the West to refrigerate and preserve the food in a safe environment, in a way that we can track the food source, that we can keep it and preserve it at the right temperature. And so basically we want to connect donors with beneficiaries again.
And because we do not have any recycling infrastructures in the country, so it's been hard a little bit to go with the project. And we were actually inspired by the dumpster. We tried to look at the dumpster and we tried to reimagine how this dumpster would work. So as we said, what we're trying to do basically here, we're trying to look at the dumpster or to reimagine the dumpster. And we want to link beneficiaries to potential donors. Donors زي المطاعم، الأوتيلات اللي كتير عندهم أكل زيادة، و beneficiaries زي for example refugee camps. And this is basically just a map of how we were thinking about it. So I would like to introduce Family Kitchen. Family Kitchen is an NGO that works with food waste in the country. فبدي أعرفكم على بندر الشريف من Family Kitchen.
يعطيكم العافية. بندر الشريف مؤسس ومدير جمعية مطبخ العائلة للأمن الغذائي اللي هي بتشتغل على مبدأ اللي حكت عنه ساندرا اللي هو إعادة تدوير الطعام الفائض وإعادة توزيعه على المستحقين أو الناس المستفيدين اللي إحنا ممكن نلاقيهم بمجتمعنا زي ما حكت جوريتي على الناس اللي هم يعيشوا تحت خط الفقر. هلا بس بدي أحكي مختصرا عن إحنا كيف بلشنا بهذا المشروع بال 2009. كان الوضع يعني من ناحية الوعي والتوعيه بموضوع الفود ويست ما كان زي الايام هاي، كان الامور كثير اصعب. احنا بدانا باعاده تدوير الطعام من الفنادق ال5 نجوم، بدانا باول فندق، كان الموضوع كثير صعب، كثير في تحديات، وكثير في تحديات من ناحيه الفكره، من ناحيه الموافقات، من ناحيه التنفيذ. كل خطوه كان فيها تحدي. بدانا بشكل كثير محدود وبدانا نتوسع حتى انه مع الزمن كل سنه عن سنه كان في ناس فنادق وموزعين وموردين ومستفيدين ومتطوعين يزيدوا وينضموا لنا. فهلا احنا بنحكي على 10 سنوات من الانجاز. مثل ما حكت جوريتي، الفائض في الاردن على طول السنه بزيد لحوالي 500 طن برمضان، وهو رقم هائل جدا، ورقم يعني مش يعني شيء جدا خطا انه يكون عندنا هذا الرقم ببلد صغير زي الاردن وفيه هذا المستوى من الفقر او نسبه الفقر. فاحنا بدانا مع فنادق ال5 نجوم والمخابز. عمليه اعاده تدوير الطعام عمليه جدا يعني بديش احكي صعبه ولا معقده كثير، وبنفس الوقت مش سهله، لكن بدها اداره وبدها مسؤوليه. عمليه اعاده تدوير الطعام احنا بنحكي عن تجربه، يعني ما واجهنا اي مشكله صحيه طول هاي الفتره، لانه كنا نتبع اجراءات معينه وبنعمل تدريب للمتطوعين اللي عندنا على اجراءات السلامه الغذائيه، او بنعطيهم كورس صغير بالفود سيفتي. فهذا الحكي كلياته مكننا خلال هاي ال10 سنوات انه نعيد تدوير واعاده توزيع اكثر من 1,000,000 وجبه. فاحنا بنحكي 1,000,000 وجبه على مدار السنوات، رقم مش قليل. الفائض الطعام هو إشي جدا مهم، مش إشي بسيط. إذا إحنا بنحسب قديش إحنا بنهدر باليوم الواحد على مدى سنوات، بيطلع لنا رقم هائل جدا ورقم جد. It's worth it to work on it. لازم نشتغل على هذا الموضوع. وشكرا ساندرا لأنه حكيتي على موضوع التوعية بالبيوت، بالمطاعم، بالفنادق، بالمخابز، بكل هاي المواقع. بالبيوت أكثر شيء طبعا. فبنشتغل على مسألة التوعية، وبنشتغل على مسألة إعادة التدوير نفسها، إنه نقلص هذا الفائض، نقلص الفجوة بين الحاجة وبين الفائض. يعني we take the excess and turn it into success. فهذا هو اللي بنحاول نعمله بالتشارك مع جميع فئات المعنية، من موردين اللي هم المتبرعين، من متطوعين، من جهات بمناطق اللي بنوزع فيها سواء في المخيمات أو في القرى النائية. فتكامل هاي تعاون لهاي الفئات كلياتها بيعمل هذا الإنجاز. بنقدر نحكي بعد هيك ب1,000,000 وجبة تحققت بجهود الجميع، جميع هاي الأطراف. وحاليا عم نشتغل على مشروع غير عمان، عم نشتغل على مشروع بالبحر الميت لإعادة تدوير الطعام الفائض من فنادق البحر الميت، خصوصا الوفود السياحية والأعراس والمؤتمرات اللي بتصير، اللي بتزيد منها كميات هائلة في محيط من القرى النائية اللي هم فعلا بحاجة. نحكي على سويمة وغويرية والروضة، هاي القرى المحيطة بمنطقة الفنادق اللي مفروض تكون يعني مستفيدة من هذا المشروع. وطبعا نعتمد على علاقاتنا مع الأوتيلات اللي احنا اصلا نتعاون معها من سنوات. فشكرا لحضوركم، وحبيت اشارك معكم هذه القصة، وبشكر جوريتي وساندرا على الفرصة كمان، واتمنى لكم كل التوفيق. واحنا في بيناتنا تعاون، ولسه يعني عم نبلور الامور كيف احنا ممكن نتعاون بالمستقبل كمان. شكرا.
Thank you بندر. صراحة thank you. صراحة احنا لما بلشنا with our research كنا عم نفكر طيب ما بنعرف will reimagining the dumpster will it work will it not. بس وقتها تعرفنا على بندر and we actually did the service with him. We went to 5-star hotels, we collected food and then we distributed the food to refugee camps. And بنفس الوقت كنا عم نفكر طيب في حدا he's already doing the service, what added value do we have on his work, on what he's doing? He's been doing this for the past 10 years. So what can we do to help him? And it was very interesting actually, because he has a maximum of 6 hours to deliver the food to refugee camps because of the danger zone to the food. And it was very interesting because when we went to the camps, we went at 2 a.m. in the morning. people who were collecting the food were women, and they were very scared إنهم يطلعوا بالليل refugee camps at 2 a.m. in the morning, and it was such a hassle for them. It was a problem. Is there a solution? Is there something that we can do? And this is where our idea came to life when we were thinking, you know what? Maybe if we have a vessel, or if you want to call it a dumpster, a vessel, whatever it is, a device that you can put in key locations. Initially, that was the idea, where it is powered by solar energy and can preserve the lifespan of food it extends the lifespan of food up until 24 hours, where certain NGOs like Family Kitchen can come and they can collect the food and they can distribute the food براحتهم to refugee camps. Maybe that would work. We are still conducting research, so we're basically at this stage we only designed the hypothesis, and you can see basically the mock-up in the Future Food, Future City. But this is where the inspiration came from. So as we said, like the main food sources. I'm نحكي عن reliable food sources because again, there are a lot of health issues, health risks that can happen. For example, contaminated food. So for now, maybe restaurants, hotels, bakeries, and farms. And we actually went to a lot of hotels and we went to restaurants and the association and bakeries, and we discussed a lot of people are interested. They want to give food because there is a lot of food that is it's being wasted. But nobody has a solution for them. They're just throw it away. And at the end, it's just food that can reach a lot of other beneficiaries, even if it's not edible. We only research on edible food waste for now, but there are a lot of other potential, possibilities to compost, for example, or there is a lot to be done at this stage. So the findings.
So with our research, with his help, and contextualized in Jordan, this is how we designed our hypothesis, our prototype. So excess food, according to almost anywhere in the world, the standards must be refrigerated. You cannot break the chill. There's like a chain that you have to control the temperature from the food source to the beneficiary. Otherwise, it's not suitable for consumption. So we proposed a chiller, basically, but it has to be smart. You have to control the temperature. You can only reach up to 24 hours. The packaging has to be approved by the governments. And the handling, of course, the staff has to be trained on how to handle the food, how to not only collect it, but also deposit it. So this is why the medium, at this point, cannot be open to the public, because this is a question that we get a lot. Why don't you put this in the streets so people can take it? Because at this point, it's very important to control the whole process. And then, of course, policy making, and this also happens everywhere in the world. It's very hard to get food from hotel sources, from restaurants, from bakeries, even supermarkets. There are regulations that are completely different from one part of the world to the other. And people are afraid, of course, to donate the food. So again, we're always in this, spiral. There's a problem, there's a lot of food waste, and still it's very hard to legally make use of it. So we need to basically ask our governments to create these policies so we can actually make use of this waste.
حتى اجتمعنا مع جمعية الغذاء والدواء, the FTA, and صراحة for them they were very clear. They cannot approve such a medium, but they also support it. So it's very hard because of the possible health risks اللي ممكن تصير from food contamination, from bacteria, from germs. So technically, like there's a lot of edible food waste, but ما بنقدر نعمل أي شيء. There's nothing that is actually being done at this point. And for us, it was very hard because nobody wants to go to jail at the end of the day, and it's that serious.
But this is why, again, at this point, we're aiming for 5-star hotels, because the control of the food, it's basically there's control of the food. In other countries, there are projects that are successful, and by the way, the rate of toxicity right now is 0. So.
And that's why, if we ever get funding and if we do the vessel, the medium, for us it has to be. It cannot be open to the public at this stage, so it has to be controlled and open to only registered users like hotels, restaurants, and again, reliable food sources. So this is this is the original prototype that we designed, and
Yeah, this is the prototype. It's specifically designed for the design week. This basically helps us start the conversation. It probably will evolve when we have more data. It could be a mobile device. We still don't know. It could be bigger, it could be smaller. For now, it has the main features that we know it needs, which is refrigerator, security, and traceability.
and also anti-vandalic, because you never know what happens. And also, originally, we suggested that it should be put in key locations outside, so it's powered by solar energy. So this is the initial design that we've worked on.
And of course, there's for Jordan especially, it's very important that it's an awareness tool. Of course, this could be inside the hotels, but since there's no other recycling outlets in the streets, this could be the first recycling device that people could start. You know, it's like starting a conversation, because, I mean, awareness is one of the key things that we need in climate change action, basically.
Yeah, and maybe in the future you can have different segregation units for different types of food waste. So who knows? This is just the beginning. And this is the exhibited prototype. We only made one functional compartment.
You can actually see it.
It's
It's down this path. Yeah. Of course, we're committing to 4 of the global sustainable goals.
So basically, this is it. This is it for us. We're here at this stage. Thank you all for coming. If you have any questions, please.
Does anyone have any questions?
Okay, then, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.